Well, our first guest is responsible for some of the most delectable baked goods in the world. And in honor of National Pumpkin Cheesecake Day, she is here today showing us how to whip up a show-stopping sweet treat. Please welcome to our home award-winning pastry chef, Sherry Yard. We are so honored to have you here today, Sherry.
Thank you so much for having me.
I am such a big fan of all of your creations, especially this one. So the one you were making for us today sort of came to you on accident. It is a, let me see if I get it right, a pumpkin cheesecake semifreddo pie?
Sure.
Something like that?
Ice cream pie.
Ice cream pie, but it was an accident.
You know, it's happy accidents, as they say. Well, I wouldn't go a season without being here with you and having dessert. And then to bring something, which are my favorite ingredients together, is key. And so cookies, cookies, cookies. I don't know if you know, but I've been working on a follow-up book to Desserts by the Yard.
Very
and
excited
Cookies
about
by the
that.
Yard. So I have lots of cookies that are left over in the kitchen, believe it or not. So what do? So I took the cookies, and you could buy store-bought. You can could buy the store-bought cookies. So whatever your key is, just make a shell, pop it in the oven, 350 for 12 minutes or so it's nice and toasty again.
Okay, we take that, we set that aside.
Easy,
now
easy.
we make our delicious pumpkin semifreddo ice cream. So for people who don't know what semifreddo is, will you let them know?
Semi-frozen.
Semi-frozen.
It's
That's all it
fancy.
means in Italian.
Right, you could charge a little bit more when you call it semi-freddo as opposed to, ice cream pie, right? Okay, so here we have, and this is the cheesecake part, because the cream cheese is in here, and it helps with the richness and the fatness and the beauty of the spices, because if you just have pumpkin on its own, it's part of the reason I really didn't like pumpkin pie, because it was just too pumpkin-y, and I love it where it's richer, like the cheesecake. So here we go. We've got cinnamon and nutmeg, and we're gonna add the brown sugar and the white sugar already in here.
All the autumnal flavors going in there.
Yeah, all of it goes in there, little vanilla. There we go. And then lemon juice. Oh, and ginger. Gotta have ginger. And then lemon juice. It always brightens up the palate. A little salt and a little lemon juice. You combine those guys up, and away we go. And then we add those in. And then what I'm doing is I want it to go around and get friction. Do this on your arm. You give yourself a little friction burn, but that's what's happening with your spices. The flavors are opening
That's
up.
Right.
And
That's
they're
almost like
so,
toasting them, huh?
Oh, so delicious.
Sure.
And so then I'm gonna put a little sour cream.
I love the idea of sour cream. Why sour cream?
Gives you a little pucker up. A tartness, you need a little bit of tart. I think balances of flavors, you wanna play with all the flavors, and by adding sour cream, if you're French, maybe you want creme fraiche in there. They all kind of do the same job, it works, but it gives that tang. And then last but not least, heavy cream. Now, if you want, you could whip up the heavy cream and fold that in as well.
Okay.
And if we do it this way, we could also do it in an ice cream machine, so it all works.
Sure. Now, do you have to freeze that after?
We're gonna make the base and we're gonna pour it into the shell.
And then you freeze.
And then freeze it. And here's the great part. I have to scrape down. The great part is that whether it's a Halloween party or you wanna save this for Thanksgiving or it just becomes your go-to dessert, you can make all of this part in advance. And it sits perfectly fine.
Oh my gosh, I would want to eat that. If I made that in advance, I would just eat that out of the ice box.
Right now. So we get this all ready to go. And
I have mine already ready to go.
How'd you do that? You're so quick.
Yeah, I have little elves over here helping me.
I'm not fast enough. Okay, I'll go faster.
So how quickly does that need to, how much does it have to whip to actually make it like this?
It's going to fill up the whole thing. It is. It's as simple as that. You've got all this with the heavy cream, the fat that's in there, that's going to, give it that air pockets.
Because you want it light.
We want it on the lighter side.
Yeah.
Gelato has a tendency of being a little bit more, on the dense and taffy-like side.
But as does cheesecake. So sometimes, that double density might make it just too heavy, but not if you keep the air in.
Right. It depends upon. Oh, here we go.
There you go.
It depends upon what you like. Once again, do you like that Philadelphia style?
That's right.
Cheese where you're whipping it up? Do you like it where it's more dense in New York style? So you can see I scrape around really well to make sure it's all combined, and then we're just going to pour it in.
Oh my goodness.
Look,
It looks
we've got
so
lots left
good.
over.
I
No,
could eat
it's
that with a
okay if you have
spoon.
leftover. You know what you could do with the leftover?
Eat it, lick the bowl.
You could, well, it's a lot. Yeah, lick the bowl, absolutely. But you could pour it into ice cube trays. And then pop them out and save the cinnamon, any kind of cookie, and roll them in that, and then you've got ice cream pops.
I mean, what a great idea.
Right, so there we go there, and of
You
course...
must have been the best room mother at school. They saw you coming a mile away, I'm sure.
Well, in culinary school, we were all good room mothers. And see, just by magic of television, here we go.
And here we go. Now for the piece de resistance.
Freezer,
Freezer
Best
for how long?
freezer, minimum of 4 hours.
Okay.
Leave it overnight. You could even have it in there, honestly, a week ahead. But
Now, the piece de resistance is your brown sugar whipped cream. Tell me about it.
this is a meringue. So this is egg whites that have a little bit of sugar that's already pre-whipped.
Look at that.
And this is really important. I call it, it's a soft, like a simply
Wow.
beautiful soft peak. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to, yours is ready already. So again, I'm a little behind you.
It's okay.
Hold on, whisk back in. Yes, whisk back in. And then on the side, I've got brown sugar. Here
my goodness.
is one of my favorite secrets. I've been here before. We've done the baked Alaska.
Yes.
And I insist on the brown sugar meringue when it comes to certain types of flavors that it's going to go with. So what better than more brown sugar, but light and whippy?
And you got to be careful here, though, right? Because you don't want to.
Yeah, you want the temperature to be 235 or so, which makes it just thick enough that it doesn't break down the
It
meringue.
doesn't break
I
the
guess it
meringue,
is.
yeah.
And yet, you want it to be, if it goes too hard than that, you just add a little water back into the pot and keep going at it.
Oh
so
my
that's going to whip up, and you're going to see that it's really light. And
We
like
have it
you,
here.
I'm back where you are now.
So I'm going to follow
But
you.
look how gorgeous that is. It just makes me so happy to see it. And now it's up to you, whatever way you want to pipe.
Well, I want to copy you because you're
So
the best.
we could do simple circles, or
Okay.
you could do a little bit of
Oh,
like
I
that.
see.
You could work your way any which way you want. Now the key for me, though, I have to be honest, is the peaks. Because
Pulling
we're
them
going
up?
to toast this afterwards.
This is going to be fantastic.
And so I'm going to make just a pattern. And I love more meringue, more meringue.
There's no such thing as too much meringue to you?
No.
Never.
I love meringue. It's so light. And yeah, it's got some sugar, but because of the amount of air that you put into it, it's lighter. It's really, really light. So you could keep going. Yeah, perfect. You've got peaks. Peaks are great. And then I could double down and do peaks inside my little valleys.
Okay.
I'm doing half of the pie one way because I don't want anybody to fret and think you need a piping bag. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do two different styles,
All
just
right.
for fun. And see what I'm doing? I'm pulling up, and then I'm letting some of the peaks drag over. Because why?
beautiful.
It's going to make it more to be caramelized when we're finished.
All right, Sherry, speaking of the caramelization, I'm ready.
Oh my gosh, the girl's got her blowtorch out already.
Let's
Boom,
do
boom,
it.
boom. Okay, wait, I'm gonna do this one on this side, and I'm just gonna take this meringue and just show you how simple at home. Don't worry about
Wow.
it. Just slap that sucker on. And then look, and then from
Oh my
there
gosh,
you
it's
just,
beautiful.
look, see what I'm doing
Oh,
with
you
those
can
meringues?
just do that.
Sure, make it easy. You can do
Look at
piping.
that.
So, you know, we're at home now and we're trying to look for creative ways of doing things.
Okay, Sherry.
All right.
We got to have a piece of this. Come on.
Let's finish it.
Here we go.
Rolling blow torches. So on,
It's on.
it's
Ready?
on. Ready? You wanna
Wow.
get dark.
It's like magic. This is my favorite part.
And toasting is the best part.
Oh, Sherry, thank you so
More
much for
color
being
equals
here.
more flavor, girl.
And thank you so much for teaching me how to make your beautiful meringue. Oh, that's amazing. You will find this complete recipe at hallmarkchannel.com, and you can connect with Sherry on her Instagram.